Hey everyone, I decided to re-record this. This is the overall perspective and review of A Decade of Dio 1983 to 1993. This is a collection of remastered albums from Ronnie James Dio. His first 6 solo albums: Holy Diver, Last in Line, Sacred Heart, Dream Evil, Lock Up the Wolves, Strange Highways. I'd already covered Holy Diver and Last in Line prior to picking this up. Excuse me. And I even remember saying, at least in one of them, that I wish I had them remastered because I think they would sound better remastered instead. Well, here we go. We got them remastered. This is the same style of set as the Bad Company set. It has little replicated vinyl jackets like this. The inside has sleeves to help replicate the inside sleeves of the vinyl as well. I paid, I think it was somewhere between $79 and $89. I don't remember 100% for this set. 6 CDs. It's not a bad price, especially with them all being remasters. Normally when I find sets like this, it's usually about $10 a CD, $12 a CD. This one obviously was a little bit more. I have found that when it comes to Dio, things are definitely a little more costly than they used to be. So that's a bit of a detraction for me. Outside of that, though, even at $90, we'll round up from 89, we'll say $90. Even at $90, that's $15 a CD. That's not a bad price for remasters. As someone that already had 2 of the albums, that just means my kid gets 2 out. One of my kids will get a couple albums now. It's not a big deal, but the whole thing in its own, if you don't previously own it, is great. If you do previously own it, other than being remastered, there's nothing special or extra to it. There's no bonus tracks on any of the discs. The same problem I had with the Bad Company collection as well. If you're going to put these together, put some bonuses on them. The Alan Parsons Project, actually, as a matter of fact, did a set like this, which I've covered as well. And the Alan Parsons Project did have bonus tracks on it. So the fact that there's absolutely no bonus on here at all, that is a real big piss off for me as well. But, once again, 15 remastered CDs, 6 remastered CDs works out to like $15 each. It's not horrible. It's not a bad price. The artwork's nice. I do like that it, because of the way it's compacted. The first 2, if you look at this, I just happen to have a CD case in here. And, if you look at this, this is about the size of two cases, maybe 2.5. So for the amount of space that Holy Diver and Last in Line take up in my CD rack, I can now fit 6 CDs in there. So that's a bonus as well. The whole way around, this was actually kind of really interesting. Because I thought Holy Diver, like everybody, Holy Diver is a fantastic album, right? Last in Line, I remember when I listened to it the first time, I was really impressed with it. And when I listen to it now, it's still not a bad album. Sacred Heart, my review for that didn't go so well. I was not as big of a fan of Sacred Heart as I thought I would be. However, Dream Evil I thought was really badass and really good and enjoyable. Then we hit Lock Up the Wolves, which was let down. And then we hit Strange Highways, which I actually thought was really good. I do have albums coming after this still. We are going to finish up Dio eventually. The only album I'm missing at this point is Killing the Dragon, or Killing the Dragons. I don't know if it's plural or not. Something about killing and something to do with dragons. That's the only one left I believe I have to buy. After that, I believe I have purchased every Dio album now. There are albums I have not covered yet, which I will get around to covering. Angry Machines and Master of the Moon have been covered. Now, ultimately, when it comes to this set, because there is nothing bonus to it, because there is nothing special to it, other than it being remastered, which is important. I can only give this collection really a average of how I felt about most of the albums. And I feel that on average, most of the albums end up hitting about a 6.5. I mean, some of them are obviously 9s, or 8s or 9s. Some of them, like Holy Diver, arguably an 8 or a 9. Last in Line, arguably a 7 or an 8. Sacred Heart, I thought was a 6 or a 7. Dream Evil, I thought was a 7 or an 8. Lock Up the Wolves, I thought was a 4, but was willing to give it a 5 because I thought the artwork was really good. I thought the production on it was pretty decent too. And Strange Highways, I would definitely give a solid 7. Maybe, a solid 7. So, like I said, we're looking at maybe about a 6.5 for the whole set. But that's just based on my personal opinion on a lot of the Dio tracks themselves. Not every Dio track is a winner, and not every Dio track, or not every Dio album is going to be a winner. Like Ozzy did not release every album as a great album either, and if I were to compare Ozzy's first 6 albums to Dio's first 6 albums, and I'm only using Ozzy because outside of Ozzy, Alice would be the only other comparison I have for artists that were releasing this prolifically throughout the 80s and going into the 90s. And if I'm looking at Alice or Dio's true contemporaries being Alice Cooper and Ozzy, and I were to look at the 6 albums in the 80s of each artist, or all the 80s going into the 90s albums of each artist, Dio's probably got the least enjoyable assortment. Keep in mind, when it comes to Alice, the first 3 albums of the 80s, his first 4 albums of the 80s, 2 of them really don't like. One of them, not bad. One of them, I think, is pure genius. So when you look at it, even compared to this, Holy Diver, Last in Line are pure genius. But Sacred Heart, and Dream Evil is a pretty good album, but then you get into Alice's heavier stuff, and it starts kicking the ass of Dio's later stuff, Ozzy, really great stuff in the beginning as well, but tapers out a little bit as it goes. So when, comparing apples to apples with contemporaries, to say that the 80s worked out to about a 6.5 really isn't that bad, because that's pretty much the 80s in a nutshell, right, folks? The whole way around, I know I'm downplaying this set, but I actually would recommend this set. I wish it was a little bit cheaper. I wish I could remember exactly what I paid for it. So if it was $89, I'm going to say that it needs to be cheaper. If it was $69, which it might have been, but I don't think so. Positive it wasn't $69. But if it was $69, that would be a perfect price for it. $69 for the set would be perfect. $89 for the set. not great. Keep in mind, all the prices I am quoting are Canadian. I do like the artwork for this. I thought that artwork was pretty cool. Anyways, folks, I'm gonna leave this one here. You know, let me know anything down below in the comment section. That's what that's for. Check out the reviews I've already done out of here, or the other reviews. Like I said, I've done Angry Machines. I've done Master of the Moon as well. Done all of Dio with Sabbath. I've done all of Dio with Rainbow. Magica will be coming, because I do have that album in my possession, and eventually I will get my hands on Killing the Dragons. Until then, folks, thank you for watching. Drop me a comment, hit the like button, subscribe button, bell for notifications. A couple links worth checking out. Peace, love, take care.